The objective for the lesson in this video is to evaluate algebraic expressions. Let's take a look. Before you try to actually evaluate some algebraic expressions, let's figure out what we mean by evaluate in general. What does that word mean? Well, let's take a look. Olympic judges evaluate performances of the athletes. What do? They give the athletes a score. That is an example of evaluating. Managers conduct job evaluations for employees. They would give the worker, the employee, a score. That means they've evaluated the employee. Well, we do that in math as well. You can evaluate an algebraic expression. You can come up with a number that you would assign to that expression. Let's take a look at what this looks like. In the prior video, the one just before this one, I talked about expressions and equations and used a seesaw to represent an equation. And then when you take 1/2 of the seesaw, just part of it, that is an expression. So here we have a visual representation or picture of an algebraic expression. We have a box and a guy, and there's some guys hidden in the box, but we don't know how many. But then we are told, oh, there's 3 guys in the box. So now we can come up with a total. 3 guys plus 1 more guy. There's 4 guys in the total. 3 here plus 1 more there. That's 4. What I've just done is evaluated that expression. I came up with a number for it. Let's look at it in a more algebra mathy way. This is what you would see. You would see an expression. So this is our expression right here. And then you would be told, what is the number that goes in place of your variable? Oh, instead of X, we're going to put a 3 in there, just like we put a 3 in the box up here. So now instead of X plus 1, we have 3 plus 1. We can calculate that. We have 4. And now we have evaluated this expression. We came up with a number for it. We're like an Olympic judge. We held up a number to give that expression a score. That in math, we call that evaluating. So this is what the problems would look like. You would have the directions where it says evaluate the expression. You would be given an expression, and then you'd be given the number to plug in for your variable. And so to evaluate, we would take the number for the variable and plug it in, which means change the variable to that number. Just like we saw on the previous slide. And then 3 plus 1 is 4. I'm done. I have evaluated that expression. Let's try the next one. Let me erase this. Same situation. We are going to take the number and plug it in for the variable to evaluate. Now, when you have a 2 or a number next to the variable, you don't simply write it as a 2-digit number and go, oh, that's 23. 2x means 2 times x. So I'm going to put a dot in there for times. So that means 2 times 3, which is 6. And now I have evaluated the expression 2x. 2x was evaluated. I gave it a score of a 6. We don't use x anymore for multiplication, because then in this problem, you'd have 2 times x. Now you get confused. Is that x an x or is that x a times? So we're not going to use that anymore. You could also write this problem like this with parentheses, and that's also times. Let's do one more. So now we're going to take that 3 again and plug it in for the x, convert the x into that 3. This is times, but then we also have to do an addition. We're going to do PEMDAS, order of operations. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. I have now evaluated that expression. I gave it a score of a 7, and I have evaluated expressions. So that is the lesson for this video. Evaluate algebraic expressions. Let's see what's coming up next. In the next video, we're going to work with expressions again, but this time we would be doing simplifying expressions instead of evaluating. So until then, bye.